our District 1 City Councilor Sal LaMattina is with us, and he has graciously offered to not only share some of the things that he's trying to accomplish as the chairman of the Parks Subcommittee and a bunch of other things, but also take questions, see what's on your mind of the neighborhood. But I wanted to acknowledge that we also have the chairman of the Finance Committee in the legislature, our state rep, Karen Michaelwitz, who has joined us today.
So we got a bigger hand than you do.
I know that.
Well, Sal's going to get the applause after. So, I'm going to give the floor. Yeah, while we tally, and I may interrupt you to let people know what the vote is.
That's fine. Good evening. It's great to be here. Low tide, just got back this morning, California, so I can't really speak out loud because I didn't sleep for 2 days. Thank you for inviting me here today. As Ford mentioned, I am now the chair of Parks, Recreation, and Transportation for the Boston City Council. Very, very excited about that chairmanship because I have the opportunity to do a lot of things. And I went to the meeting last week with the North End Subcommittee. I learned their project on the trees, which I think is very important. Anytime they add more trees into the neighborhood, it's good for the environment. So I will be working with the subcommittee to make sure that we get more trees in the neighborhood. And I also offer my support because this summer I do have some interns that work for me, so they will also be helping. But I have an announcement I'm very excited about. Something that I want to see in the North End, I think it's lacking in the mayor and Thank You Mayor. And this year's budget just came out yesterday. I really didn't get a chance to look at the whole budget. I am the vice chair of Ways and Means, so I will be attending many, many meetings and go over the budget. But I'm very happy to announce in the budget, we have $100,000 to do a study for a new North End Community Center. I think it's something that's been overdue for this neighborhood. So I'm very what they're going to be doing is they're going to look for a site. Might be feasible to build a new community center in North End. And it's something I've been hearing for many, many years. I've been working in this neighborhood for almost 30 years in Nancy Caruso, in Marietta. Almost 30 years. And as you can see in this room and go upstairs in the chair, it's about time. Something that I want to work on this term is, as you know, I represent East Boston, Charlestown, in the North End. And all those 3 neighborhoods are on the Boston Harbor. On the harbor, we have some really nice parks. We have nice Christopher Columbus Park in the North End. In East Boston, we have the Pierce Park. In Charlestown, we have the Navy Yard. We have the New Menino Park. So something that I would like to see to bridge our neighborhoods is a ferry system. So what I'm going to be doing is holding a hearing, and soon I'm going to file it, hopefully next week, to get all the players at a hearing to look at how can we get a ferry service into the Boston Harbor to benefit the neighborhoods. So if you're from the North End and you want to take a bike ride to a beach, you get on a ferry, go to East Boston. We have a greenway that'll take you right to Constitution Beach. If you live in East Boston and you want to go to an outdoor pool, because we don't have an outdoor pool in East Boston, same thing, you take a ferry, come to the North End and use the pool. So we have a beautiful park system on the harbor, we just don't use it. So hopefully we'll connect South Boston to the seaport. So that's something that I really, really want to work on, and I'm going to need your help in that. It's also in the budget this year, I see that they have $1.9 million for the Paul Revere Mall for renovation. So that's a lot of money for the mall. Yeah. So very, very happy to do that. Square, there's $2.5 million to redesign North Square. That's happening. The Rachel Revere Square, there's $487,000 for that square. Then we have some money for the Parkville Field for electrical repairs. There's $260,000 for that. What else do we have here? So if you have kids in school, and the budget is like $40 million for the 585 commercial street, for the Elliott School, $40 million. So expand that school, additional classrooms, expand as like a K-8 school. So that's good for young parents who want to stay in the North End. So I'm very excited about that. And what else is very nice in the budget? This is like Christmas when I get this. Christopher Columbus Park, we have some money in there for the train to address the drainage.
That's the what?
Drainage. I'm sorry. For $450,000 for the Elliott School for improvements, bathroom renovations, and school sprinkler system. There's $5 million for Langoni Park and Hopewell Playground.
Nice.
For enhancement improvements to playground, basketball court, baseball field, softball field, launching, lighting, and there's $1.5 million for doing some work at North End Library. So this is all in the capital plan. So very, very excited about that, the capital plan. That's all I wanted to look at. I just saw the budget this morning briefly because I was just got in this morning. So I really haven't had a chance to examine the budget. We will have hearings starting at the end of this month through May and June. So you're welcome to come to any of those hearings. I heard that before I came here, so I just imagine talking about it, I am one of the 10 councilors that voted to support urban renewal. And I can tell you why I support urban renewal because, as you know, I represent East Boston, Charlestown, and the North End. A big portion of urban renewal is in Charlestown. There's a portion in Charlestown that I want to see it extend to Sullivan Square. So Sullivan Square, it's our dream in Charlestown that one day that we will be able to develop Sullivan Square, and I believe that the tools will help us in Sullivan Square. And I might also add, I supported it because the state representative from Charlestown and their neighborhood council supported it. I know it, so I know you have some concerns about urban renewal, but I can tell you that with the 6-year extension of all minor and major modifications, they will have to notify the city council. And when they notify the city council, we will decide if we want to have a public hearing. So if there's a public hearing, some of the impacts the neighborhood, we will have a public hearing, and that's another venue for you to express your concerns. I am hoping within the 6 years that we can take out the waterfront. I mean, it's not blighted, I don't think it's blighted, but I also, there's portions in East Boston I would like to see some blighted here in East Boston. That should be. So that's where we are. One good thing that came out of this whole process, the BRA has to be more transparent. They will now come before the city council during budget season and go over their whole budget, something they never did before, so we can see where they're spending their money. So I'm excited about that. For me, I have always said that, I used to say that the BRA was the evil empire. But I can tell you, the last 2 years, I've been working very closely with the BRA, particularly in Charlestown in the Navy Yard. There's a lot of, I mean, they own the Navy Yard. There have been problems there with maintenance. Now we have a private maintenance company that made some improvements over there. They're happy over there. We got to move the ferry from Pier 3 back to Pier 4, because the previous administration moved it to Pier 3, so the residents are very upset. They moved it. So with that, that's what's going on. So I don't know. I'm here to listen to some of your concerns. I'm in there for another year and 9 months. So if you have any good ideas that I could be working on, particularly with my new committee, with the parks and transportation and recreation. That would be very, very helpful. Nancy, you go first.
Sal, it's been a pleasure working with you all these years. I'm so happy to see that you have grown so much. I think you know what I'm referring to as far as your two friends back there. It's been really a wonderful, should we say, life for me to see you grow up and become so successful.
Thank you.
I'm really delighted that you are our, man up there, and God forbid you should ever retire. Because I will be on your door making sure that you don't.
So when I started working here, for those who don't know, I was a young kid, and the big started in North End.
That was 1991.
91, I
Remember?
worked in North End, I believe, in
My
1988.
first meeting with Sal and with the big boys at City Hall was that December of 1991, when they were going to tear up the North End, close it off, and there would be no North End left. And that's when,
No, I appreciate it. Listen, for the last 10 years as a city council, we have worked closely together in this neighborhood. I remember when I first started, we started in North End, actually it was Beacon Hill North End Property Task Force, because of all the complaints that we used to get from students. I can tell you now that it's very few complaints that we did get in regards to the students. So that's a good thing that we did here. So it's working with you. And that's why I'm here today, to hear from you. If you have any concerns or questions, please feel free. David.
Yeah. We have to make all these lightning round questions because we're imminently going to be thrown out of
You
here.
mentioned the amount of money that's in the quote capital plan for each of the parks. What does that mean in terms of schedule of work?
Well, first of all, just getting like the study for the new community center is a big deal. Because now we have to do the study. And then the next, then it goes into design, and there's money into design. And then it goes under construction. So it's a process. So this year right here, this capital plan is for 4-year capital plan. So it's a process. So I'm really, really excited just to get that study in here.
So that, to me, says that the spending of that money on those improvements or studies will at least begin within the next 4 years?
Yes. Yes. And we're ready. I mean, some of these projects are in construction, happening. We have to things already. Yes.
The streets, the potholes, and the mayor's complaint about the potholes. With all this construction in the month, and they're gonna put the sewer lines, the water lines. Is there a plan and action to remediate the streets?
After major construction, there is a plan to.
We fix the sidewalks back to concrete and the way they were doing it. Because it is a disaster.
And something else that we wanted to do, we're doing that is, if there's major reconstruction on the street, we want to make sure that they change some of the lights, the ACON lights. That's something that we've been looking at. You don't like that? We got it on.
I've been waiting for that for years.
Yeah, I know that. Well, that was a deal with the previous administration. And I will hold their feet to the fire this administration. Because I think the ACON street, just lost Salem Street, is so much nicer with the ACON lights. Yeah.
We got it in front of our house on Commercial Street, and the difference is tremendous.
Yeah.
And gives a lot more light to it.
Yeah, I agree.
We can see right across Commercial Street as people walking around at the park. A lot better.
Questions? Mary had one?
Hi, Mary.
You took a formal position against the most recent version of the Lewis Wharf Hotel project, and that was most appreciated. If that area remains in an urban renewal zone, and the BRA has been extended and feels it can do whatever it wants in that area, what effect will your opposition have?
I am on record in opposition to that project, and today I'll stand on record. in opposition to that. So if they have to do any major or minor modification to that property, we could have them come before the Boston City Council.
Do you believe that if they come before the city council and you have a hearing on a major or minor modification, and then they said, okay, the council voted against it, but we don't care because we're the BRA, can they just move ahead? Or do you have any legal authority to say no?
Well, I'm sorry, I just said. I think a lot of people, because the BRA is here to stay.
Which is fine.
Is here to stay.
Yeah.
So there's the BRA process, and then they have to go to the Board of Appeals. All I can tell you is that you will have at least with the city council, you have 13 members of the city council, where before it was just the district city council, and maybe the at-large, either opposing the project or supporting the project. So I think you will have more power if it goes in front of the Boston City Council, particularly on a major project like that.
So we can, even if there's no force of law, we can apply political pressure.
Of course, I think you have that opportunity. You're going to have the whole city council now, where you didn't have that before.
That's exciting. So I think we have time for one more question, and then maybe your comment afterwards, but the one question to Sal.
Catherine Gooden, Fulton Street. 2 questions. Does transportation include parking?
Yes.
Any hope for getting rationalization of spaces in the north end? And second, any chance of getting 2 bike racks in the north end?
Bike racks, yeah, we could probably help you with bike racks. About that. We put some on Sterling Street recently, which I thought was great. Yeah, we could probably do that.
Just
If there's a good location, and you also understand we don't want bikes blocking sidewalks. Sidewalks are narrow. So if there's a location that you think that we could put some bike racks, feel free to call my office. I'll be glad to.
BRA
Try to help
parking
that.
lots.
That's exactly what it's.
No, something, I like that, Dave. No, why? Because
Sergeant's Wharf.
the BRA, right, I love this one. And you just quote me this one. They think everyone's going to be on a bike. So a lot of developments, they require more and more parking for bikes. And I live in East Boston, I don't see a lot of people on bikes. So, yeah, I like that. I think that's something that we should look at. So, what? No, I wouldn't want it in North Square. There's the areas that we should have, you know, I mean, outside of North End. You know what I mean? So I think that what we did on Salem Street, that little part of the place, was very interesting.
In the case of point, the Fulton Street parking lot, for example, has big squares where no one parks.
Yeah.
Well, they'd be perfect for a handful of bike racks.
You know, that-
Without,
I like that.
without taking out any parking places.
I love to see a garage. Yeah, a green garage. That'd be nice.
Thank you very much for taking the
Thank you.
time to speak